All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Facts and Stats. It is now episode 81. I have here three guests with me. Before I get them to introduce themselves, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and tell a friend about everything that we have going on here at Facts and Stats. Most importantly, don't forget to get you a nice little Facts and Stats shirt. I wear it as much as possible when I can. I love what I do. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and start with you, Gifted. Go ahead, you can go ahead and introduce yourself, tell people who you are, and
What's good, people? I'm Gifted. You can follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all things Gifted at Gifted Explain. I also got a YouTube. I also run spaces on Twitter where we actually download the game. We talk about basketball. I'm a Warriors fan, so obviously this is going to be a very intriguing episode. But big shout out to Ev. We've been inside of the Facts and Stats spaces and talked about a lot of basketball for the whole playoff. So I'm excited for this episode.
appreciate it. Go ahead, Mish.
What's going on, everybody? It's Mish. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter. I just started Spaces like 3 months ago, and I don't even know how I ended up falling into Facts and Stats. But ever since then, I was like, oh, I can't wait to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Here every day. But no, this is a good vibe. I like coming in here talking sports, talking ball with people. So it's going to be a good episode.
All right, go ahead, Jay. It's on you.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy Jay, aka The Wizard. Follow me on Twitter at The Wizard, TikTok at The Wizard, same thing. I just got into spaces probably, if not this month, probably last month. So I'm new at the Mish. Mish actually kind of got me into spaces, her and B. Avid Celtics fan, been a Celtics fan since I was like 6. So I'm holding them boys straight down every time. But yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, podcast on the way, all that, yeah.
Okay, so episode 1 will be NBA Finals related. We will be talking about Game 3, which happened last night, and Game 4, which will be happening tomorrow night. Last night, so we're going to go ahead and jump straight into it. And for those that's watching, that's going to watch this video on YouTube, when they're saying spaces, they're referring to Twitter spaces, so make sure y'all check into that. At Facts and Stats _ on Twitter as well. Spaces are hosted every day, Monday to Sunday at 11 a.m. We're going to go ahead and jump straight into Game 3 now. Last night, man, what a game. We seen Boston take down the Warriors in Game 3, 116-100, led by Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Before I give my thoughts and thoughts on how I feel about the game, I want to go ahead and jump straight into Jay. Jay, talk to me. What do you like in Game 3 that you guys did not do in Game 2, where we all know you got blown out in Game 2? What do you like that you all did in Game 3? It wasn't a shot. What did you like that y'all did in Game 3 to ultimately end up winning that game?
Okay, so I know it wasn't a shot, but the point of attack, that was one of the first things that stood out to me. It was like from the get-go in Game 2, you seen Dre get that jump ball on Al. We couldn't get our first play going all the way before he was already at the point of attack, messing up our plays, and that's generally how most teams have guarded us throughout the year anyway. Not letting us get into our sets or not allowing us to get into our sets quickly. So that was one of the things that we changed up this game. We got angles. I think I said it in the space. Anytime we had initial penetration on our swings, whenever we got like down here almost to the basket, we would swing it. And once the ball was caught by the next person, the Warriors defenders' hips are wide open. So once your hips are wide open for anybody that plays basketball, it's an easier drive to the rim if the defender's hips are open versus if he's square in front of you and can shift either left or right. So that was really one of the huge things besides, the offensive boards, the second chance points, things of that nature. Okay. That's what I like what we did, though.
Okay, what you got for us, Gifted? What's your breakdown or your analyst? Your thoughts on the Game 3 last night?
Yeah. So for Game 3 last night, I liked the intensity that Boston came out with. I did a film space where we broke down Game 2. To me, the biggest change is their movement. In Game 2, a lot of the times Boston was still, and it was mainly the Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown show. I don't feel like the role players really played aggressive as far as trying to move to the cup or look for their own shots. Early on in this game, the very first play, Jaylen Brown walks into a wide open three, which gives him confidence. And then later on in that quarter, you see him go directly at Draymond Green. And I think that plays like that inspire the rest of the team to also contribute. And then Smart going in the post on Curry instead of trying to just shoot all of these jump shots. I think that was his stronger suit. And then even Al Horford in transition, how he would establish post presence quickly, and
Yeah.
they would throw excellent
Facts.
post entry passes for him to actually eat. So I think the team as a whole found a much more well balanced approach, and also Robert Williams felt like the MVP of the game, just how he was really dominant in the paint consistently. The Al Horford drop is still going to be their thing, but I think Coach Ime was very, very smart because the drop coverage is encouraging Curry to shoot the three, which he's still killing from three, but he's not doing dribble job penetration to create for others as much because they're giving him the jump shot more. And for Boston, we always talk about how late game execution matters, but if you create an 18-point lead within the game, you're making the other team have to do so much to fight back into the game to where if they make crucial mistakes down the stretch, you give yourself a good chance to win. And I think for the first half, Jaylen Brown's explosion to start got the Celtics that lead, but then in the second half, Jason Tatum was excellent at not settling and getting to the basket.
That's a fact. I definitely agree with everything you said. It was spot on. Mish, go ahead. I want to hear what you got for Game 3. What was your thoughts? What did you like? What you saw your team did in Game 3?
Yesterday I saw a team that tried to do that Game 2, but we had little antics and things happen like that. But no, yesterday I was very pleased at the way that they came out. They came out poised, hungry, like, hey, we know even though we're tied 1-1, this is a do or die game for us. We gotta protect home court, and I like the energy that they came out with. Like Gifted said, JB came out and set the tone early, and I like the fact that we got out into the offense early. I seen him knock that 3 ball down. I said, okay, we're going to get him going. So once he started becoming more aggressive, then everybody else fell in line. Like you said, Marcus Smart driving and not just settling for threes, attacking Curry or anybody that's down there, including Andrew Wiggins, who's attacking the rim. I like that. I'd rather you attack the rim than sit there and settle for threes. Like, if you look at it, we only took 35 threes. Normally, we've been taking like about 40 to 45. No, we had a good shot diet because we're attacking the paint, and we were also taking open looks as well. So,
okay.
And I like the way that we play defense too, getting those stops and making them turn the ball over, which is very hard for Golden State because of the offense that they have. It's kind of hard to turn them over if the ball's always going in the basket. So, kudos to our defense and not giving up when they went on that run. Those guys caught the lead. They were up 83-82. I'm like, God damn, Golden State is good. But I'm just proud of the way that they responded even after that, because a lot of teams would have been like, hey, we just on to the next game. So those are my thoughts.
I agree with everything y'all said. But what I'm gonna say is, as far as what I seen in Game 3, you guys came out like y'all wanted it more. You out hustled them, you outworked them. Defensively, especially on the glass. You guys had 15 offensive rebounds. They only had 6. It's like Ime told every single player on that team, Smart, Brown, Tatum, Horford, Rob, like, look, Grant had a lot of offensive rebounds, with 3 offensive rebounds, and they came at pivotal times in the game. Look, we're going to crash the glass no matter what. And I think Boston sent that as a point of emphasis throughout the game. Tatum and Brown, they're playmaking, especially Jason Tatum. He had 13 assists in Game 1, but only had 3 in Game 2. Brown only had 3 in Game 2 as well. Tatum came out last night and had 9 assists this time around. And when they attack downhill, which I liked about them, they're 2 of the greatest shot creators in the NBA. Some of the greatest shot creators in the NBA. And when they attacked downhill in Game 3, they still had their head up looking to playmate, where they hit Peyton Pritchard for open threes, or they were seeing Horford, or they were finding Smart. Smart hit 3 threes last night, and Smart had 20 plus. Whenever Smart is rolling and clicking like that, outside of Rob having 8, 10, 3 steals, 4 blocks, Boston is a tough team to beat. I came into the series thinking like, man, nobody can beat Curry. I don't think anybody can beat Curry but LeBron. I'm going to be real. I don't think nobody can beat Curry but LeBron. So to see the young guys and Tatum and Brown going toe-to-toe with Golden State right now, who I ultimately want to win the series, is very interesting to see. So I want to hear y'all thoughts on Game 4. We know what's at stake. Boston can go up 3-1. And if they do go up 3-1, we probably will all say that the series is over. I think, Gifted, you will agree with that as well?
Yeah, I think if Boston is able to capitalize on Game 4, I think that the series is going to be extremely hard for the Warriors to get back in it. I think Game 4 is extremely crucial for the Warriors
Okay.
to take.
Jay, so let me hear your game 4 predictions. What would you like to see in game 4, and how do you think that game is going to go?
Oh, the same thing, same energy. But I need us to play like we're desperate because we always get in this position, especially the last two series. We always get in this position where it's like almost we feel content with just winning the ones that we were supposed to win. Like, I don't want that. I want you to play every game like it's your last, like you down 3-0 trying to make a full comeback. That's what I want to see.
So, question to you. So, how do you think the Warriors are going to come back, though? Like, how are they going to shake back, and what adjustments do you think they're going to make?
Desperate, which is why we have to play desperate. Like, that's what I'm expecting. I want to see what I seen last night, diving on the floor with the ball.
Yeah.
We had a lot of 50-50 balls that could have went y'all way. They could have been turnovers for us, but guess what? We got them, and we got point. I know who was one of them that it broke down, and Brown got a 3 out of one of them. Like, those were the ones that were the killers. Like, those are that's what separate boys from men. That's what separate champions from non-champions. And those are the type of players I'll be looking for us to make game 4.
Okay, Gifted. I really want to hear your thoughts. You're the true Warriors fan up here. What adjustments are you looking forward to seeing Steve Kerr make? And also, how are you looking to see Draymond bounce back, who had a horrible game 3?
Yeah, for me, the defensive intensity from the Warriors wasn't there initially. Yeah. And I felt that really started with how comfortable the Celtics got into their first initial shots. The very first play of the game, they literally had Curry and Wiggins flash Tatum, and then he kicked it over to Smart, and then a simple rotation pass to Brown to walk into his shots. That comfortability stuff, they have to find a way to make them feel a lot more uncomfortable. I think one rotation they might try to lean with is instead of having Draymond on Brown, you put Draymond on Tatum, because Tatum is more so trying to look for his jump shot than his downhill ability. I think Andrew Wiggins physically might match up better with that. Obviously, there will be help, but I think that the key is nullifying their explosive offense to start, coming out the gate with hitters and intensity, and specifically making sure to stagger the lineups in a way where you focus on points in the paint, you work with Klay on the off-ball movement, but also Steph needs to get downhill more compared to shooting these threes. Right. I still think he needs to exploit that drop, but at the same time, it needs to be more of a healthy diet. Because when he's getting downhill on Rob Will or even Al Horford at times, creating those other opportunities are key. And for Draymond, I'm not worried about it. He played like actual garbage, and that's true. But I do believe he still has what it takes inside of him to play really, really well. In game 2, he was a marvel defensively. It's just a matter of coming out with intensity and not being soft. I feel like they came out kind of soft. They eased into the game, and fighting back from an 18-point lead in the finals is unacceptable. When you're in a hole like that, you don't want to have to rely on, okay, we're Golden State. We can score 12 points in 37 seconds. I want them to come out the gates with a sense of urgency.
Okay, so what about what we've been talking about for a good portion of the spaces today, with Curry having 2 points in the fourth with 3 turnovers? How do you feel about Stephen Curry's play in fourth quarters throughout this series so far, and what do you expect him to do?
I think the fourth quarter stuff is interesting. I do believe that he could be closing the games out better. I do think that's a part of it. However, I do think the context behind that is kind of unfair at times because, A, in game 2, he didn't play any fourth quarter at all because it was a blowout. And then in game 1, Boston did a great job of exploiting the non-Steph minutes in the fourth quarter to bring him back into the game early. And then even though he was scoring, Boston did an excellent job at matching his scoring early. And then when his shots weren't falling, Boston took the game over with their insane shooting in that fourth quarter. And then yesterday's game, he closes out. He rests parts of the third quarter. Boston does good in those minutes. He comes back in. He hit very limited shot, maybe one basket.
Nothing changed though. I don't understand why another Warriors fan said that to me today. When Curry went to the bench in the third quarter, y'all were down by 2 points with 3 minutes left. In my opinion, if you ask me, and he had 15 in the third, if you ask me, you guys did what y'all was supposed to do because Curry came at the start of the fourth quarter and y'all was only down 4 points. So for him to go to the bench and y'all down 2, and then him to come back into the game, y'all down 4, what difference was it?
To me, what the difference was between game 3 and game 2 even is specifically with the third quarter explosion, the biggest difference in last night's game was Klay Thompson. However, Boston changed up their coverages because in the third quarter, they're giving up a lot of drops. Steph Curry is shooting those threes, but when he comes back in, they're blitzing them harder and they're making the others beat them. And the way that you counter that, is you focus on Curry primarily trying to get to the basket more, but B, you focus on off-ball movement and also Draymond's impact with the ball. Because Boston's not respecting Draymond at all. So the spacing in those lineups matters significantly. And ultimately, it's going to come down to the shot making from Steph in those positions. So that's really the difference that I would say in Game 3, focusing on those lineups that give you versatility to where Boston is going to have to respect more shooters out there on the floor.
Agree, completely agree. Mish, what's your Game 4 thoughts? How you feeling going into Game 4 tomorrow?
I feel like we need to come out, like Jay said, desperate. We need to pretend like we're down 1-2. Like, we have to have that from I'm talking about the first possession, when the jump ball, everything. I need that level of aggression for 48 minutes, not just 12, not just 24, 48 minutes of consistency of us getting hustle plays that don't show up on the box score. I need all the type of intensity. I need us to be very decisive. And that goes for Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. You have to be decisive of what you're going to do. We can't be second guessing. Oh, do I want to do this? Do I want? No. Pick a choice and go with it. That's just what it is. For Game 4, just like Game 3, I want to see them crash the boards like that again. Y'all show me that y'all can out-rebound them. What are we doing? I limit them to 6 offensive rebounds. The last game they had 12. So it seems like every game they're figuring out where to get to their spots and simply just boxing out, just so they don't have 30-plus second chance points. I feel like that's where we'll have the advantage. As long as we're not giving them second opportunities to knock down threes, I feel like we'll have a good shot at getting Game 4. But it's all about, if you wanted to go out there and get it. And also, Game 3, you've seen a different lineup. You spoke on it earlier this morning about having Grant in the fourth with Rob, and was it Al as well in the fourth?
Nah, so they didn't run that at the same time. Earlier, Process said the other day that he would like to see Smart, White, Brown, Tatum, Horford.
Right.
And I sort of kind of backed that up while a lot of people were saying, like, no, why would you want to see that?
Right.
We need Rob a lot. And although Rob did have a big-ass game yesterday, especially in the fourth quarter, it was real tremendous. But I think that lineup that me and Process spoke on sort of kind of set the tone in that first quarter. Because Derek White came in around the 8 or 9 minute mark in the first quarter. So, and they attacked Robert Williams a lot. In the pick and roll, that was the guy they were attacking. It was point of the time where Rob was like, no, you go up. You take that pick. You go. You follow that man up to try to avoid that situation. So, I don't know, man. The Celtics, y'all have a real good team, and I wish y'all didn't beat us, in 7. But I respect everything about Boston, man. So I'm still rooting for the Warriors at the end of the day, but it's clear as day to me who has the better team for sure. And Tatum and Brown, them both being wings on the perimeter, they're just too good of a players. And I feel like at this very moment in the series, if Smart or Horford shows up, or even both of them, or even just Robert Williams, it's going to be hard for Golden State to win. They got to stretch the floor out, like Gifted said. Looney and Dre, I need to see less of those minutes together. They can't play together. Boston's smiling when they see them on the floor together. Neither one of them can shoot outside shots.
Right. They said the same thing about Al and Rob. So what if the next game somehow those two guys can play on the floor together? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
I don't think that it's out of the realm of possibility for them to play together.
Yeah.
But it's completely impossible if you're going to run that lineup, and then not only are you not getting rebounds, which Draymond didn't do a great job last night at boxing out, but also when you're turning the ball over with that type of lineup. If you're going to have spacers out there, you have to maximize how that works. If you're going to have guys who can rebound and play defense, they have to be rebounding and playing defense, and that just wasn't happening.
Okay, so I'm going to ask y'all one question, right? Well, 2 more questions before we go, and I appreciate y'all coming on. So, Jay, first off, I'm going to go to you, Mish. How are you feeling about the series as of right now? How are you feeling?
I like the position that we're in. I feel like we have that confidence in us right now. So now it's all about executing now. That's it.
Okay, Jay, how you feeling?
Same thing what you said. It's all about executing right now. I'm worried about execution and consistency, being that this is a mostly young team with the exception of Al. That and we haven't won back-to-back games a lot. and we haven't defended home particularly well after the first round. And I said before this coming in, I said Game 4 was gonna be the one. And if we win this one, I have no more doubts. I feel like we're gonna be the champs. Yeah.
Gift, how you feeling right now?
Huh? It's not gonna be easy though.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a slugfest tomorrow. So get your popcorn.
Okay, how you feeling right now, Gifted?
Yeah. Apparently, unlike the other Warriors fans, I still feel good about this series coming in. I said Boston was capable of taking a game at home. I didn't really believe that we're undefeated at home in the playoffs record margin. To me, the bigger thing is for the last 27 consecutive playoff series, Golden State has been able to win the game on the road. I still trust in that, and I still believe that this team can come out and dominate just because when things look really, really bleak, they were able to score 10 points in the span of 37 seconds.
True.
I think that offensive potency can still follow up, but like everybody else says, it's going to be a matter of execution, heart, and effort. And I think that starts with Steph, and it extends to Draymond, Klay Thompson, and the rest of the team.
Okay, well said, Gifted. My final question to you, mainly Celtics fans. If the Golden State happens to win tomorrow and it goes 2-2, would you guys be concerned at all?
No.
I got faith in them boys.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I like the way they play on the road. For some odd reason, they're like, "Hey, the pressure's not on us; it's on you at home." So
every time, it's almost like they want to make it hard on themselves, which is why I want them to get this next one. Like they always gotta find the tougher route, and that's really why I don't. That's really why I like them and why I love them. Like why I don't like them and why I love them. Like, because why do you keep having to answer to adversity? You could just handle business from the get go. Like. Yeah.
I'll say this. I can respect you guys not being afraid, but from my estimation, when you start a series, games 1, 2, and 3 are games of you trying to find out what works, what doesn't fit. And once you get towards the end of a longer series, at a certain point, you know what's coming. You know exactly what to expect, and it comes down to execution. And I feel like if Golden State takes Game 4, they're going to make a key adjustment, and if they find success with that, then at that point, I don't think there's many more countercards for both teams. And then at that point, it's just straight up who can execute their schemes and their adjustments better if they take Game 4.
Right. I agree. Well, look, Jay, Mish, Gifted, I appreciate you three coming on and chopping it up, talking Game 3 and Game 4 predictions with me real quick. Episode 81, my bad, most likely will be dropping tonight or tomorrow morning early. So look out for that. I will at y'all as well in the post. Anything else y'all got to say before I close this episode out?
Go Celtics.
All right.
Celtics, hoorah.
The Warriors. I'm the only one up here.
Appreciate y'all.